Williams has a 7'6" wingspan, and he can really get off the ground. He is a powerful athlete with a great frame. He is explosive. He is a big-time shot blocker. He pursues the ball, going after it, not only to block shots, but rebounding. This guy is a big-time, top 5 in the draft athlete. When he brings it, he can really play.
Most Celtic fans will definitely remember the hype of Robert Williams from the NBA draft. After falling all the way down to 27, nearly every NBA fan assumed that the Celtics, well, they got the steal of the draft. The athleticism, the wingspan, the rebounding, the defensive potential, it just all added up. But prior to this season, it just wasn't the case. Whether it was injury or maturity issues, Williams, for the most part, underachieved for all the tools that he possesses. However, in these past couple of weeks, Williams has turned it around massively, showing major growth and improvement, to the point where he can help the Celtics turn their season around. So let's break down how impactful Williams has been, how Brad Stevens is making a mistake not playing him more, and how Williams can do his part to make sure that he gets the minutes that he now deserves. I'm going to keep it completely honest. Robert Williams has been the Celtics' best defender this season, and it's not even close. Sorry, Jaylen Brown. Why, you may ask? Well, let's look at the tape, shall we? His minutes this season has been extremely inconsistent. He'll have a stretch of games where he's able to get 10 to 15 minutes a night. And then there's the occasional game where he's able to play over 20. But this literally hasn't had an impact on Williams. Because for one, at the time of February 19th, the Boston Celtics block leader has been Daniel Theis, with 26 blocks in a total of 623 minutes played. Robert Williams? He has 24 blocks in only 317 minutes. He's basically protecting the rim at the same level of Theis in only half of the minutes. Can you imagine how much more Robert can help the interior defense if he's given more minutes? Especially when you consider that the Celtics are in the bottom 5 of the league in second chance points allowed at 14.1 a night. But getting blocks is only one aspect of the defensive end. Robert makes sure to be able to contribute mightily in other areas. Case in point, steals. On this Celtics team, if you were to think of somebody to lead the team in steals, you'd automatically think of players such as Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, and even Marcus Smart. Likely not Smart this season due to injury, but you get what I'm saying here. But the funniest part about all of this is that while Jaylen Brown does lead the Celtics, with 31 steals and 549 minutes played in total, it's ironically Robert Williams, who is not that far below, with 22 steals. But again, nearly half of the amount of minutes played is less. Even though these stats may be around a week old, for a player to be able to consistently have this much of an impact on the defensive end in that limited of a role should only speak to the Celtics playing much better when he is on the court. And here again, the stats don't lie. In my previous video before talking about the Celtics, I mentioned how they have a huge problem whenever Jaylen Brown or Jayson Tatum comes off the court. Because the Celtics, they fail to either score or defend as efficiently, as compared to when they're both on the court. This problem is again ironically fixed when Williams is on the court. Although it's only a small sample size of 129 minutes, the Celtics are 7.2 points better with Robert Williams and Jayson Tatum on the court, with Brown and Kemba being able to get their rest break. And then, even when we aren't comparing Williams' on-off rating to other players on this team, he just makes the defense a whole lot better. Why? Well, again, you remember back to those same February 19th statistics? Well, at this same time period, Robert Williams led the Celtics in defensive rating, block percentage, steal percentage, and true shooting percentage. So the true question that now needs to be asked is, if Williams is able to truly have this much of an impact, why doesn't Brad Stevens play him more often? Well, there's a couple of reasons as to why. I don't think it's an overreaction to say that Brad Stevens has a very short leash when it comes to players making unforced errors. If a player is causing too many turnovers, too many fouls, or is just hurting the team, Stevens has no problem yanking them out of the lineup. And while for Williams, he struggles heavily in limiting fouls and committing turnovers. For one, Williams, in the 15 minutes that he gets, is committing nearly 2 fouls at the same time. This time around, I don't want to imagine the per 36 stat of this. And with the turnovers, he is currently leading the team in turnover percentage rate at nearly 18%. So yeah, a player who commits a lot of turnovers and also a lot of fouls in a Brad Stevens system, do we now start to understand why Williams doesn't get a lot of minutes here? But the problem I have with this is that not only is Stevens stunning Robert's growth, but at the same time, his aggressiveness here in this case is what makes him so good on the defensive end. Is there times where he's simply not being smart on the defensive end? Yes, but he is one of those rare players who will try to do anything and everything to get momentum on their side, and you don't find players like these all that often. So what can Robert Williams do? My opinion, just continue to play like how he is. The foul and turnovers are concerning, but I deal with it. His impact is just too good to try and change. What do you guys think? Let me know. Until next time, peace.